Hello, and welcome to the SWD Training Panel series. In this panel overview, you'll discover each of the functions on your panel's home screen. Let's get started. The SWD control panel consists of two parts, the design display on the left and the touch keys to the right and bottom of the display. The first icon on the right-hand side is the LED light switch. You can tap the switch to turn on the lights that illuminate the needles. Directly below the light icon, you'll find the embroidery status key. With this key, you can switch between editing mode and embroidery mode. The third icon down is the design menu. Here, you can import designs and transfer them between the USB and the machine's memory. You can also access the machine's onboard lettering feature. The fourth icon down is the color sequence menu. Here, you can determine the order of the colors you will be embroidering. The fifth icon down is the Preset Hoops menu, which displays the machine's preset hoops and allows you to program the hoop parameters to match the hoop you're using. The sixth icon below displays the Design Settings menu, which hosts design setting options such as density and rotation angle. On the left-hand side of the panel, you'll find the speed keys. Below the speed keys, you'll find the Embroidery Settings key, which displays important embroidery settings and parameters that a technician can assist you with. To the right of the embroidery key, you'll find the floating key, which allows you to forward or rewind by stitch count. To the right of the floating key, you'll find the stitch mode key, which notifies you of the machine status whether it has an error, it has stopped embroidering, or it's in working mode. This key is also used to rewind or fast forward the design in low or high speeds. On the left-hand side of the following row, you'll find the manual color change key, which displays the current needle setting and allows you to switch between needles. To the right of the needle change key, you'll find the report key, which displays production statistics. To the right of the report key, you'll find the menu icon, which is primarily used to change the language of the machine. Technicians may also use this key to access embroidery parameters. On the top left-hand side of the lower portion of the panel, you'll find your tracing key. This is used to trace the perimeter of the design to confirm design placement. To the right of the tracing key, you'll find the Return Origin button, which terminates the current embroidery job and allows you to return to the beginning of the design. On the bottom left-hand side of the lower portion of the panel, you'll find the Frame Out key, which offsets the frame to allow for easy applique placement. To the right of the Frame Out key, you'll find your Return to Stop Point button. This key may be used if you have moved the design using the directional arrows on the panel and need to return to the point where your machine last stitched to find your placement. In between the previous keys, you'll find your directional arrows, which allow you to position your design in the hoop. In the middle of your directional arrows, you'll find the Frame, Shift, Direction/Speed Increments key. This is used to increase or decrease the speed key increments and to control how quickly the frame moves. On the bottom portion of the panel, you'll find your physical non-touch buttons. The red button to the far left is the emergency stop button and should be used in case you need to stop the machine abruptly. To the right of this button, you'll find your 100-degree key, which returns the needle to its highest position, 100 degrees, allowing the machine to stitch. To the right of the 100-degree key, you'll find the trimming key, which trims the embroidery thread. Finally, on the bottom right-hand side of your panel, you'll find the Start and Stop button to control when to start and stop your embroidery machine, as well as rewind through your embroidery designs in a slow speed. Now that you're familiar with the functions on the main screen of the panel, let's jump into how to use your panel to import your designs, select your colors, and plenty more. Hello and welcome! In the following videos, you'll learn how to set up your embroidery machine for embroidery. Your embroidery machine has two embroidery statuses: Preparation Status, Setup Mode, and Working Status, Embroidery Mode. In order to start your design, you must switch from embroidery mode to setup mode using the embroidery status key. Remove your embroidery status by tapping on the embroidery status key to the right of the design. This will allow you to access basic panel functions such as importing a design. When you are ready to stitch, you will need to enter working status, embroidery mode, by selecting the embroidery status key again. After you've removed your embroidery status, you may upload and select your design from the list of designs on the machine's memory. You may import a design under the Design menu. In this menu, you will be able to view details on your design, upload a design into your machine's memory, select a design for embroidery, delete designs from your machine's memory, and create personalized text on your panel. Before uploading a design, keep in mind, your Ricoma embroidery machine reads DST files, the most common of all embroidery file types. If your embroidery file is in another file type, you will need to change the file type by using the software that comes with your machine. In order to run an embroidery job, you must first import a DST file into the machine using a USB. Once you have your DST file saved onto your USB, insert the USB drive into the USB port on the right side of the panel. Next, press the Design key to enter the USB embroidery machine's memory interface. Your machine will now display a list of all the files in your USB's memory. Keep in mind, when there is a USB in the machine's USB port, the USB memory will automatically appear when you select the Design key. Next, select the file you wish to input. Press the Save icon and hit OK. Then, click on the machine's memory icon located to the right of the USB's memory icon. The design you recently saved should now appear last on the machine's memory list. Next, click on the design you wish to embroider and click the green checkmark key. Your design should now appear on the main menu of the machine's panel. You're now ready to center and trace your design for embroidery. To select the colors for your project, click on the Color Sequence Settings menu. To assign colors to your design, you'll need to reference your color sheet. A color sheet defines the number of color stops that your design has. A color stop is when your machine embroiders with one color and then stops to embroider with another. Your color sheet will list the predetermined color sequence that your machine will embroider in. To begin, make sure that your machine is threaded with the colors that you want to use for your design. On the top half of your screen, you'll see the number of color stops for your design. In this case, there are 19. On the bottom half of the screen, you'll find your needles numbered 1 through 15. Each of these needles corresponds to a colored thread spool that you've threaded your machine with. The needles are represented by a number 1 through 15 and a color swatch icon. The color swatch on each button doesn't represent the color of thread that you are using, so you can disregard these colors and only reference the numbers. We'll go over how to match your needle numbers to specific thread colors at the end of this video. For now, let's begin assigning thread colors to your color stops based on your color sheet instructions. Start with the first color stop, which should already be highlighted on the screen above. To assign a thread color to this stop, choose the corresponding thread spool, 1 through 15, that has the color thread that you want for this part of the design. Continue for each color stop until all of the 19 boxes above have been assigned a thread color to. If after you've assigned your colors, you want to change a color for your design, you can easily swap one thread color for another by using the swap function. To do this, click on the left space next to the swap icon and select the thread spool number that you want to change. Then click on the space to the right of the swap button and select the new thread spool color. When you're done, click on the swap icon. To save your changes, click on the green check mark. If you're running projects that share similar thread colors, you may want to assign a thread color to each needle to help you visually when assigning your colors to the color stops. To do this, click on the button with 3 swatches. Then, select the needle that you want to assign a thread color to. You can sort through the pages of color options until you find a color that closely matches your thread spool.
Then, click on the green check mark to save your settings. To slow down the speed of your machine in between color stops, click on the color stop that you want to slow down and click on the low speed button. You should see an L next to that color stop. After you're finished, click on the green check mark to save your settings. This function is helpful if you're embroidering intricate designs that require lower speeds. You can also adjust the speed of your machine at any time during embroidery using the speed buttons on your main menu. For applique designs, you may want to embroider on top of applique with a specific color. To do this, you can tell your machine to stop after a specific color stop and move the hoop out so that you can place your applique fabric. You can do this easily by selecting the color stop that you want your embroidery machine to stop after and then click on the Offset button. You should see an F next to that color stop. After you're finished, click on the green check mark to save your settings.
Before embroidering, it is important to first select the preset hoop on your control panel to match the hoop you are embroidering with. You may select the preset hoop that corresponds with the hoop you're using under the Preset Hoops key on the main menu. To do so, follow these simple steps. First, select the Preset Hoops key on the main menu and a list of all the preset hoops on your machine will appear. Hoops A through E are your standard hoops, meanwhile hoop G will be used for embroidery on your sash frame. The cap option will be used for cap embroidery and the other options will be used for specialty hoops that are not programmed on your machine. Then, select the hoop that corresponds with the hoop you're embroidering with. Once you've selected your hoop, press the green checkmark key to confirm your hoop selection. Your machine will now position itself to match the preset hoop you've selected. Keep in mind, it is necessary to select a preset hoop. If a hoop is not selected, your machine will continue to use the currently selected hoop and you will not see your design relative to the hoop, which may cause you to hit a hoop during embroidery.